Right, my people, it's been a minute, it's been a while. Y'all know who this is. Neppy is in the building. Listen, what we need to do is settle down and take a big breath about all the information that is coming out as far as portals per se. One of the big ones that's going viral right now is the one in Miami. Now I know there are other ones as well, but let's sit back and analyze this. Okay, right now the world, as everyone knows, if you want to start with Ukraine, Russia, and you want to keep on going in and looking at the disturbances that's going on in the Middle East and everywhere else. This is where you need to keep your focus. Also, the elected, the or those that are going to be elected in the next cycles, we need to pay attention to this. The world, there are things going on for the people to be able to take advantage of if we understand what I'm saying. There are things going on that you and I and the regular folk, not anyone that's of upper crust, high class Rothschild family, but regular folk, if they pay attention to the right things, then there are great benefits that will happen. Literally happen. If you pay attention to some of the wrong things, the distractions per se, then you're going to get lost in the sauce. You have to go back and wonder why it is that for since the 1940s, it's always been a hush hush when you're dealing with aliens, interdimensionals, any type of out of this world beings, where nothing and everything was shut down completely. And then all of a sudden, after 2020, you see some congressional moves. You see, and that could have been a little bit before that as well. But you see some congressional moves and you see some admissions that are going out and saying, yes, there is a possibility of that. And I totally 100% agree with that. But what I see now is that there is a distraction. And they want you to pay attention to something that's spectacular that the masses can pay attention to, so that therefore, when you're paying attention to that, something behind the scenes is happening and you're not paying attention. And they know that everyone is paying attention now. So therefore, now we, as they say, release the hounds. We now release the hounds. Understand that? They have released the hounds. They're giving you candy to take. Take this candy, and now, everything that you talked about, and we called you a conspiracy nut, and we locked you up because you thought this way before, but now let's give you something to edify your curiosity. But you see how this goes. I know that there are portals, and there are not portals just in Miami. The indigenous have talked about this for years. All of your cultures and tribes have talked about this for years. There are many portals that are here. The problem is that not everyone can come in or go out of these said portals. There is a pass, no pass zone in order for you to get through to these. So, in other words, the Most High, in its infinite wisdom, has made a restriction. So, in other words, let's talk about people that talk about haunted places and the entities that could be or not be there. Now, remember, if if this was the case of, say, all of these exorcisms that are going on and the possessions that are going on, if they're already here and they've been here for a while, then you would think that by now, as everyone is trying to say, that this is a time period, this is a frame where everyone is going to see it and it's going to be a mass panic situation. That's not the case. It's not the case. It is very rare that these type of events are going to be recorded or observed still. So, what I would say is use your common sense. Watch out for the big distractions, okay? Again, whether it be Project Blue Beam or Project Rainbow, it doesn't matter. Remember, we don't need to understand, we don't need to say who they are, but they are controlling and manipulating you since the time that color television and regular television came up. This is entertainment. They want you to pay attention to what they want you to see. Please don't get lost in the sauce. Now, that doesn't take away from some particular things that happen, because you have to get a grip and say, well, you got these people that have some footage. It's still kind of blurry and whatnot, but you don't see it on mainstream television. Now you have to ask yourself, why is that? Because the distraction is that they want you to be distracted. So why isn't it on mainstream television? And I believe they're using this as, instead of them being the one that's disseminating all of the false information, now they can come back and say, you, and you all decided to put out that information now. So in other words, you're following the leader. They've already taught you what to do. And now you have people that don't have to be shills to be doing this. They are just doing it because they have been taught this way to do it. Okay? So again, spiritually, portals exist. Other entities exist. They are beyond our comprehension, and there's a reason why that is. There are many veils of understanding. There are many veils of reality. We are in but one of those realities. And in order for you to be able to converse or travel between the two, it is very, very difficult. And and you could might as well say that it's the ketchup's in the bottle, and it's hard for you to get out of that ketchup bottle. Okay, so with all the eyewitness of what we're seeing so far about a so-called portal, that I'm hearing a group of kids may have, or maybe young adults may have had a box to be able to amplify some sound. Maybe they were working on something and that they generated. Maybe they generated some type of distortion. That's okay. Maybe they did. Let's understand this. When you create distortion, what are you doing? Okay? When you create distortion, what are you doing? When you're listening to music and you have distortion, you see what it's doing. It affects you. So it affects you in many different ways in this distortion. And that's what you are seeing right now, is something that's distorted. But that doesn't mean that it's said aliens or said interdimensionals at this particular time. I will say this. In 2020 and 2021, more like 2021, there are some interdimensionals that have made it here. They're here. They're here to observe on what's going on. But this is how you know when it's time. When it's time, it will be a full-blown, some may take it as an attack. But I'll look at it as a type of redemption. Because when this attack occurs, there will be an absolute slaughter of those that have been keeping you down for a long time, Charlie Brown. So I wouldn't at this particular time be worried about what's going on. See, they have you tuned in to say, oh, well, all of this destruction is going to happen. Yes, it is going to happen, but it doesn't have to mean that it's destruction towards you, the individual that's trying to understand their reason and meaning for being here. This is going to the very fabric of who's controlling what. So that would mean, who are your controllers? And I don't have to answer that for you. You know that there's a particular branches of government, religion, etc., that are controllers. The controllers are getting ready to get smashed. And when they get smashed, there will be an all-out attack on them getting smashed for the next. And the reason why is because the next cycle will begin. Do I think we are close? I think we are halfway. Many of you that knew my channel from before, I said around 2027 to 2028. 2027 to 2028 will be around the halfway mark time of when more just extraordinary, horrific stuff is going to happen to certain people. And then there will be a big, big change. So, portals? Absolutely. No doubt about it. Is it time that those portals are out? Is that the real deal? Why make a portal and then really nothing happen afterwards? Why would you just make a portal and then that's it? If you are an entity, let's say you want to believe that there are entities that are trapped into another dimension underneath us. So we're going to say hell. And now they have found a way to make it through that portal. Then why wouldn't there be an attack? So open up. Seek further so that you can understand what is going on. And please remember that I would suggest that this is a major distraction to keep your eye off the prize. See, like, one of the distractions that you see right now is that mainstream television. But now you're being distracted by not really mainstream television. You're being distracted by your own people. And some of them don't even know that they're doing it. They're just part of the show. Project Blue Beam and all other beams, all other projects are going that we know nothing about, but we get information about it and then we guess what it is or isn't. So, distraction, yes. Portals, yes. But it's not the way you think it is. Common sense. Nothing but love. Out.